people will sometimes just uphold this outside show and put pressure and stress on their inner budgets, right? Forcing yourself to go on the annual ski trip. But if one year your budget is under pressure, take that pressure off and do something different. But many people are not willing to be visible socially, making a change. The show is a guy who turns down his most thrilling dream career opportunity because it would require him to edit his prized LinkedIn profile from his title of Global VP. So he remains in his miserable job, armed in his meaningless LinkedIn profile until he dies at 62. From The beast that guards the path. The dream you crave is absolutely achievable. It is there waiting for you on the other side of the pain cave. But you will not reach the other side until you conquer the beast that guards the path. This beast is called the show. The show is the most diabolical, evil dictator known to man. It has extinguished more lives, unique ideas, and purposeful passions than any other villain in history. It seeks to erase individuals' unique stamp on the world and let them die a cookie-cutter copy of every other human life. The show wants you to stay where you are because it's more convenient to the rest of the world. The network of people you've collected over time have already figured out where you fit into their puzzles. They need you to fit into a set of established assumptions about their affiliation with you and how it supports their image and their lifestyle and their dependencies. The group of families who take a ski trip together each year depend on you to show up. Your drinking buddy wants you by their side when they are bored or anxious. Your show and tell friends want you to attend their party to ooh and at their newly remodeled lanai. Your business network relies on you to maintain a strong network of top execs so they can call on you for connections. The Vegas trip crew needs you to be the out-of-control guy who raises the bar and throws money at a penthouse suite and passes out in a bush because without that story, their actual dearth of looks or game would be too much for them to face. Through your networks and communities, you have established a certain identity. There is an expectation that you'll continue the ski trips, you'll continue growing a prime business network in a given industry, and you'll participate in a reciprocal exchange of giving approval when you or others want to hear some oohs and ahs on whatever their latest step up in life may be. This is all normal and fine, but to make big change, we must recognize there will be pain when we discover which of our connections are more rigidly defined than we previously believed. Some fragile connections will shatter. Next section is It's a Trap. The show is a trap for your intuition. The show seeks to keep us frozen in fear of changes to any connections, affiliations, or dependencies we've built. The show will make it appear dangerous to redefine our duties in our networks. The show will make us think that without a regular cadence of successes to broadcast, we will cease to be. The show does not want us to be visible in the middle of any messy experiments. The show hates experiments, works in progress, and stories whose endings cannot be summarized in a TikTok video. We become subconsciously dependent on the show from youth. We gain a sense of safety and protection based on cues like social approval that we receive through academic achievements, sports wins, comments on appearance, or acquisition of material things. In Darwinian fashion, we built a reputation that attracted a certain segment of the population, and we then need to maintain that reputation in order to thrive in the community and culture we built. Our primal brains connect social kudos with safety. We grow to believe that continually fortifying our existing image and affiliations is the path to maintaining our source of safety. If we are seen as the academic scholar, we tend to prize and not be willing to give up that part of our reputation. After decades of building connections to a given community, if we suddenly change our image by living, working, thinking, or speaking differently, we risk being abandoned by our tribe and having to start all over at zero to rebuild a community that is the new right fit. And that might be, so this is an aside, which is the truth of big life changes. You might need to rebuild everything around you to prevent yourself from being pulled away from your big dream and your big goal and your higher purpose and your secret sauce. The show shapeshifts to fit into your fears. One man's version of the show is getting fired from a technology company for the 8th time in a decade, yet insisting it was perfect timing because he was thinking about taking that leap anyhow. The show is also found in him doubling down on interviews to earn yet another job in the same role at the same type of company where he'll eventually fail again after another 6 or 12-month stint. Financial advisors are flies on the wall watching as a family drains their assets and feverishly robs Peter to pay Paul, while in contrast, they buy flights and hotel rooms for their annual multifamily Breckenridge ski trip. It is the show that drives this family to do these incongruous acts. They are choosing to be controlled by the show by avoiding the questions they'd have to answer if they were to tell their friends they were not going on the ski trip this year to save money. So people will sometimes just uphold this outside show and put pressure and stress on their inner budgets, right? Forcing yourself to go on the annual ski trip. But if one year your budget is under pressure, take that pressure off and do something different. But many people are not willing to be visible socially, making a change. The show is a guy who turns down his most thrilling dream career opportunity because it would require him to edit his prized LinkedIn profile from his title of Global VP. So he remains in his miserable job armed in his meaningless LinkedIn profile until he dies at 62. From 6 feet under, he hears a wise worm whisper in his ear, "No one cared what your LinkedIn profile title was, but you. You should have just done you." When we double down on the show to maintain normalcy amidst disruptive life events, awkwardly clinging to our past image, we ignore our intuition and we overlook the opportunity to welcome a new way of living. Big external life events are, in fact, gifts. They wonderfully loosen the screws of our plans and open up uncharted white space. And I wrote this blog years ago. So what's funny is I've had a lot of big life events sit. What I wrote is true because I've still had things happen since. So if we can sit with the problem and not the solution, our intuition can finally speak. This is the truth we see when we get strong enough to really sit with the problem. If I change my career, I will look like a failure. That's the truth. That's the painful truth. Sit with that. If I take a risk, I'd have to choose between my nice cars and my kids' private schools, and either way, it would be embarrassing. That's the painful truth. I have to confront that some of my friends and community might judge me based on my career title or income, and I'd have to admit I selected them knowing that they were that way because I might be that way too, right? You might be judgy and elitist, and if you suddenly decide not to be that way, it's hard to face because it's as much shame on them as shame on you. I am not confident that my second career would be an immediate success. I might have to lean on people or ask for help and feel a bit less powerful. That is the painful truth. And here's truth-filled doozy you might recognize. All your life, you've marched about assuming that you are the protagonist in your epic tale, valiantly decorated with badges of duty, addiction, righteousness, and martyrdom. But the truth is, you are at once the hero and the villain.